Welcome to the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. 1 hour of highlights from this past week. Comedy, politics, current events, and pop culture. All completely uncensored.
Brought to you by deepdiscount.com. Tons of sales going on all this month, including big sales on Blu-rays, drama, sci-fi, TV, comedy, and more. All deeply discounted only at deepdiscount.com. Use code Cumia for 10% off. Come on in here, Brian Regan. Take a seat. All right, there he is. Pull up a comfy seat. Yeah, say hello to everybody. There they are. Mr. Brian Regan, take a seat over here. Good to see you,
Good to
sir.
see you, too.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there he is. The great Brian Regan. Man, very proud of you, Brian. Radio City Music Hall. And this is the first live comedy broadcast that Comedy Central's ever doing.
That is all correct.
That's nuts. How long has Comedy Central been around? I remember the boop, 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 the old Planet logo. And you think from all that time, all those comics that have come through, they didn't trust one of them to do a live broadcast?
I'm a little surprised myself, but
yeah.
It was something that I pitched to them, and they were receptive, and so it's all cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
You've never played Radio City? Or have you? You seem like a guy that would have been in there.
No, I've never been there.
No? You ever go for the Christmas show?
I've never been in there.
The Rockettes?
I've never seen,
Never? Are you an American? Let me see your birth certificate.
I've never, I lived in New York City, and I've never been in Radio City to see a show
or even be in there.
Yeah, they're going to let me go in tomorrow just to do like a run-through kind of
just to get up on the stage.
I know which way to face.
Find out where you don't want to face the curtain behind you.
It looks silly.
You got to, warm up. That is pretty cool, though. That's got to be one of those benchmark moments in your career.
Yeah.
That is pretty goddamn cool.
What's weird, though, it's... I don't know how many it seats, but we've sold only 300 tickets.
That's it.
So everyone's going to get to spread out and kind of sit wherever they want.
Somehow, I don't believe that one, Brian Regan.
I was fibbing.
I know you were.
I was telling a fib.
Of course you were. Brian Regan always does very well, especially in New York City.
I don't know. Am I supposed to do something with this? I don't know what this is.
You know what? It's if we take phone calls or something. I don't know, but there's a monitor over there. You could probably hear it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't let that upset you. It's actually a clock that a young Muslim boy made, and I'm gonna have him on the show. And
he's following me. The young Muslim boy, and you preset his prop.
Right. Yes.
All right. I didn't realize
preset his prop. Brian, you are so good at steering clear of controversy. Based on, and this wasn't a calculated thing, I'm sure, with you. This is just based on your act, what you find funny, what your talent is on stage. You're hilarious. But you rarely touch on controversy. And there's no real controversy that's followed you during your career. Are you pleased about that right now in the air of 2015, where everyone seems to be getting in trouble?
I like the fact that people get in trouble.
You like people in trouble.
I don't want to. I don't want to be the one getting in trouble, but I like seeing that people get in trouble.
Why has that always been appealing?
It's fun.
Ever since you were a kid, like your brother or sister, I took so much joy in watching my brother get in trouble. You'd peek around the corner and laugh at him.
You know, it's funny. I grew up in a family of 8 kids. And one time we were supposed to be asleep at night, and my dad overheard laughing and giggling and came in and said, "Who's talking?" And one of us told on the other one, said, it was him.
Rat.
And my dad slapped the rat.
The rat! That'll teach him.
The rat and said, "Don't you ever tell on your brother," and walked out.
What a great life lesson.
Like, wow.
That is perfect. Wow. Yeah. That was, did you,
that's pretty cool, huh?
You have an appreciation of your dad and how you were raised and all that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just little things like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Was it a pretty traditional American upbringing? Did you have both the parents in the...
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah?
They're both still alive.
That's crazy.
They're about to turn 89 each. My mom's birthday, well, my dad's birthday is 11/11. My mom's birthday is 12/12. Always easy to remember when their birthdays are.
Nuts.
And they are both turning 89, so right around the corner. Yeah, but good parents. You know, like I said, raising 8 kids, hard to do.
Yeah.
And they did a great job.
That must have been hard to kind of make yourself known, stand out in a family of so many kids.
Well, you know, what I always think is weird is, like, I have 2 kids, and but when you're a kid, you don't realize how hard it is, you know, to raise that many. Like my mom, like I realize now she had way too much on her plate, you know.
Yeah, that is a lot, man.
Like, she never understood that we wanted smooth peanut butter. You know, we thought we were making it clear to her, and she would come home and she would be like all up. Kids, you are not going to believe what I found. Your favorite crunchy peanut butter. And you're like, oh, well, we don't like crunchy peanut butter. We like smooth, and smooth is what we want. Kids, you are not going to believe what I finally found. Your favorite crunchy peanut butter.
Every time.
We don't like crunchy peanut butter, and we never ever did, and we never ever will, and we always only want smooth only. Kids, you are not going to believe what I finally found. I had to look behind all the smooths, but I found your favorite crunchy peanut butter. What do you do?
They really don't get it a lot, and like you said, a lot on her plate.
Yeah.
So to remember that you guys didn't like
she's getting us peanut butter,
the crunchy.
Learn to like the crunchy.
Yeah, there were instances I'd be over relatives' house during holidays, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and whatnot, and my mother would tell the rest of the family what I liked and didn't like, and completely get it wrong. It's like, oh, you want my aunt to be like, Anthony, you want some pumpkin pie? I'm like, oh yeah. He goes, oh, he doesn't like pumpkin pie. Like, no, I like it. I mean, no, you never liked it. And then there's this argument over what I liked and didn't like. It's just
well, you know, it's they, you know, with 8, they provided everything we needed. But there was also, like, you got to kind of fend for yourself.
Sure.
And I remember being at a neighbor's house down the road, and he was an only child, and we were swimming in his pool in the back, and his mom said, all right, Timmy, get out. And he got out, and she put, like, a robe on him and sat him down and put a tuna fish sandwich in front of him and cut it in half. And I'm in the pool just like waiting, you know, swimming in myself while he's eating a sandwich that his mom prepared. And I was like, wow, that's unusual. And then I went home, you know, and I said, hey, Mom, I sure could go for a tuna fish sandwich. And she goes, you know where the bread is? You know where the tuna fish is? Get yourself a tuna fish sandwich. So, you know, but I got myself a tuna fish sandwich, and I
figured out how to do it yourself.
That's right. Made my own way in this world.
Was he an only child? The kid with the rope? Yeah. That those are always a little off. Those kids, little off. I don't know what it is, but there's something to be said about having a sibling. Whether it's, you know, I had one brother, one sister, still do, and it's just the camaraderie, the arguing. It just, I think it sets you up for dealing with the outside world a little better.
Sure.
You know, nobody is going to be there at the office putting a little robe on you and giving you your tuna fish sandwich in your cubicle.
That's right.
Just ain't gonna happen.
It's the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. The Anthony Cumia Show airs live Monday through Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in glorious high-definition video, exclusively at anthonycumia.com.
Were you happy when you read that script that you finally got to kill somebody? And it was
First of all,
it's an odd thing to watch Bobby so, like, because we had seen, you know, your character, like you say, a little bumbling, a little kind of, hey, take care of Junior.
Not too bright a guy, but then he got closer to Tony. He married the sister, who was insane, you know. And So maybe he wasn't as stupid as we thought, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of,
Maybe he wasn't so stupid. He had the 2 kids. He needed them to be taken care of. And then as this guy gets closer to Tony, closer and closer and closer.
He knows he's a little more secure.
Now, once the show, like we got into the last 9 episodes, even if they kill you, you're paid.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
So, you're going, all right, so I made it to the end. This is it. If you got killed, you got killed. But it's the poor guys that got killed in the second and the third and the fourth, seasons. We started making big money towards the end.
Right.
It was a great job. You're with your friends, and now now you're going to get killed. So it was a real worry,
Yeah, sure.
You worry. You're looking at the thing. The episode, great. You look at the end. Did they kill me? Everybody's shitting in their pants,
That's weird. It's almost like really getting
And you're going like this. You're going like you're eating lunch. You're going, hey, you hear anything?
You hear anything?
Promise me if you listen,
That's
Anthony.
Hilarious.
Anthony, you're going to tell me, right?
You're going to tell me.
I'm trying to buy an apartment. I want to rent out. You're going to tell me they're going to kill me. So it was like that. I didn't hear nothing.
That's something, man. Wow.
We were all doing it. Even Jim at one point thought he was going to get killed off.
Yeah.
So we'll do. So once you got it to the end, it was like, hey, I made it to the next to last episode. It was good, but it was a real worry, believe me, because one, you're on the greatest show possibly in TV history you're no longer part of.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of work. And, at the end we started making, we started doing
pretty good.
And then there was a lot of residual money. We did a lot of appearances.
Sure.
I wrote 6 books. I produced other stuff. It was all from that.
Yeah.
I had a deal with ABC. It all came from The Sopranos. Before that, there was nothing,
When you finally got that script with this right here, there you go.
I got the script. Well, first I got a call from David. Usually they would tell you that was in Lynbrook. You live near there?
Lynbrook.
You're a Long Island guy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that was the train store in Lynbrook.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he called. I got a call one morning. I'm living downtown. I get a call. Hold for David. My cell phone. David don't ever call. He don't ever call. So a call for David. It's like maybe in February. January. I said, yeah. Hey, David, what's up? He said, where are you? You home? I said, yeah, I'm at home. He said, hey, I'm coming over. I said, you're coming over here?
No.
He said, I'm coming over. So my wife comes out of the shower. My wife comes out of the shower. She says, who's that? I said, David Chase. He's coming over here, So I get dressed. She stays in the room. I come out. Doorman calls. Open the door. David Chase wearing a parka. The green parka that everyone has. One of those banged up parkas everyone on the bus
with
had.
The fur around the hood. Yeah.
And I go, hey. I open the door. I said, hey, David, how you doing? My hand to God. He says, I guess you know why I'm here. I swear to you.
Oh, shit.
I swear to you. And I say, I guess, come on in. And he sits down at the kitchen table, and I say, he's got the parka on. I said, you want to take your coat off? I get you something. No, I'm good. And we stood there for about 15 to 20 long minutes. Yeah. And I said, well, what's happening? And he wouldn't tell me, really. He said, well, your train store, an accident. He was very vague.
Right.
I said, okay. And and he just stood there and long pauses. And
you absolutely knew why.
Now I know, and now I'm okay with it. It's going to happen towards the end. And then he says, I says, is it going to be a good one? Because that became a badge of honor.
Right.
To get a good killing. If they just send you away,
right.
You're going to kill me.
Like Phil Leotardo.
I got a good one. I got a good one. Ralphie got a good one with
Ralphie
the head
got
a
great one. Sure.
But when they just send you your gun, it's not so good. Right?
Yeah.
So we sit there. I thank him. I said, thanks for changing my life. You did a great job for me. And that was it. It was very, very kind of awkward. He leaves. Then we get the script. And
it was the showbiz version of a hit. He came in and whacked out.
He said, I guess you know why I'm here.
Yeah, I guess you know.
And no smile. I guess you know why I'm here.
And
then when I went back and told the guys, and, they thought it was great because he doesn't usually come to your house. Mm-hmm. He tells you, like, at the read-through, or he'll call you.
Right.
So this was kind of, he
personal.
came.
Yeah.
So I kind of was flattered.
That is, no shit.
It's a weird, a normal person couldn't understand it, but it was, in a way, flattering. You're telling me you're killing me.
Yeah.
On the greatest show ever. I made it to the next to last episode. Yeah. And he gave me a good way out.
That was
a good kill.
That was a good kill. And yeah, like you said, next to last episode. Well, you know,
what else do you want?
The last episode's going to focus around Tony and stuff. What was your whole take on that?
I think first of all, we watched it together.
Oh,
it was
you did?
the only time ever because I never saw the shows. You know, you would loop it.
Never saw the shows.
Never saw the shows before Sunday night.
Oh, right, okay.
You know,
right.
no, before
I thought
Sunday.
you just never watched
Jim
it.
Gandolfini never watched the shows.
That's amazing.
He never watched the shows, and I don't think Robert Isla either watched the shows. The kid that played the son.
Yeah.
He never watched the shows. Michael Imperioli didn't have cable, so he would get the tapes later. Right?
Have cable.
Yeah, he didn't have cable. So we watched it. We got paid big money down at the Hard Rock in Lauderdale. And 9 of us went down there. We went on like a little tour. We were in Atlantic City Friday, Foxwoods in Connecticut Saturday, private plane down there, 10,000 people.
I'm sure it was packed, yeah.
10,000 people. Crazy, they're high rollers. We have this big thing. They take pictures, all that. We go in the back room, just the 9 of us. We're eating, we're drinking, we watch the show. Half the people loved it. Half the people said, like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
And we knew it. Because, you know, we knew what was going to happen. But what was on the page, it was just different. And, you know, at first I wasn't sure. And then I believed all the conspiracy theories.
Right, a lot of those popped up.
A lot of lies. You know, these strippers are going, I shot 3 different endings. And it was all bullshit, you know. Strippers are talking. Right? These bada bing stupid girls. And I'm going, did they really shoot 3 things? It was all lies.
Sure.
So what you saw is what you saw. My belief, nothing happened.
You don't think anything happened?
I don't think anything happened.
Think, hey, we'll end it
Tony
right here.
Soprano
He goes
is
on.
alive and well with his family, living in New Jersey.
That's
my interpretation. I believe nothing happened. They had the guy with the members only and the other guy.
Yeah, all the speculation.
And there was all different endings. That's all lies.
Yeah.
There was no different ending. What was happening towards the end, you were only getting your sides.
Right.
You know,
so you're just getting what you were going to do, right?
Because, you know, there was like things leaking out, and everyone was depressed, was trying to find out, you know, who was getting killed. We used to have parties at Il Cortile on Mulberry Street. If they were killing you, we would give you a send-off party. So we were doing that, and there was like 20 people, 25 people come, and the people got wind of it. They see us there. We're all toasting, we're drinking, and so we had to stop that.
It's the best of the Anthony Cumia Show. 1 hour of what you missed this week because you're too damn cheap to pay for it.
My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, look who's here. It's Paul Mercurio.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. So
we'll keep Steve Sauce up
my
here.
first question is, so did my couple win the contest?
Yeah, you know, we haven't spoken in a while. Let's talk about your couple. They did very well, and I think the guy's dead.
This is like look at you with the suit and tie. This is nice, but can you tell me about term versus whole life?
Yes, actually, whole life is probably what you're looking for. Let's fill out a few of these simple forms.
Am I signing my mortgage? Good to see you, man.
Paul, good to see you.
I think the last time we did anything together was on Red Eye, and I was in the studio, and you were on remote somewhere.
Oh, I was downstairs.
You were downstairs. Yeah, for some reason.
Gutfeld was probably like, "Yeah, don't put them in the same room."
No, it's not gonna be
but
good.
people don't know it. We had spoken. Since then at Caroline's a few times.
Yeah.
And,
after I punched that guy in the face.
Comedy clubs.
The fucking cocksucker. Can I swear?
Yeah. Cocksucker, fucker, dickhead, whatever, anything.
All the shit that I call my son.
It's all
fucking pussy fag.
You sound like my dad now.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't be a faggot.
This is I grew up Italian. You grew up Italian. I grew up in Rhode Island. This is how you learn racism. This is true. My uncle John was a brilliant dentist. They could only afford to send one of my mother's siblings to college.
Oh my
it was
God.
him. It was literally
Sophie's
Sophie's Choice. Exactly. Because he was the only one that had promise. He went to Georgetown Dentistry School, but he hated black people. He thought all black people were on welfare. They are. And he literally would not. He was a dentist, and he wouldn't wait on black people.
Wow.
So a black guy comes in. Now I'm 11, and I see this. I'm helping him on a Saturday. He's like, I'm cleaning up, and a black guy comes in, and he sits down, and he's got a bad toothache. And my uncle's like, "Look at this son of." I don't want to say what he actually said. Look at this son of a bitch. He goes, all right. He gets a work shirt and a mop and a bucket. My uncle goes out into the waiting room, and he just starts mopping a bucket, smoking his Viceroy, just mopping the bucket. And like 3 awkward minutes go by, and the guy goes, "Is the dentist in?" And my uncle goes, "Nope, gone for the day." And the guy got up and walked out. He would not.
He played the part of a janitor.
He would not work on the guy.
So he wouldn't work on.
He's brilliant in his racism. You can't like
to actually go through that. Whole pantomime, as they say. That's something he should have pulled a marathon man on him.
Right, exactly.
Is it safe?
Well, he wanted to do a South African, burn a tire around his neck, but I'm like, I think that's going a little far.
That's a little much.
You can't say that that's a dental procedure. Yes, it's near the mouth, but it's not a dental procedure.
Yeah. Paul, I'm wondering, what are you doing Friday? The Pope is going to be at St. Pat's. Maybe
what am I doing? Yeah.
Maybe me and you could head down there, get a photo op, as it were. Maybe a photo op.
Awesome. You know what? I say me and this guy fuck on the altar.
Big A and Paul Mercurio fuck on the altar as the Pope is delivering his.
We weren't doing anything. What are you talking about?
Nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wow. So, what have you been doing for 15 years? I see you pop up everywhere, though. I see you on
I'm working on The Daily Show. I just started working on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I'm contributing, doing stuff there. And I go on all of these, I was just on Fox and, like kind of like a talking head. Like,
Kennedy
whatever.
and
Kennedy. I just
Red
did
Eye,
Kennedy, Red Eye, and then
Tom's
I'm
great
touring.
at that, isn't he?
Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm touring. I'm headlining this weekend at Gotham Comedy Club. I'm doing 5 shows. So, and then I got a show that we created, and I have a podcast, and because I'm a comedian, it's the law.
Yes, and, at this point, everyone needs a podcast.
And we just shot that as 2 episodes as a TV show that we want to shop, and then I got a scripted half hour that's getting developed around my life story. It doesn't include the St. Pat's Cathedral thing in it.
That's conventionally been left out. I understand.
That's for season 4.
And save that.
But the podcast has been fun, and I had Paul McCartney, and I could tell you that story later.
Yeah, that is. I heard about that.
Yeah.
How do you get Paul McCartney?
Well,
because
we've
never had him on our show, even the O&A show.
So he was doing a special show with the Colbert Report, right? And I was helping out over the Colbert Report. Stephen and I worked together on The Daily Show, blah, blah, blah. So he just finished rehearsal, and he leaves the studio. I'm coming down to the studio. I don't know, whatever. It's just a day, another day. And I round the corner, and there's Paul McCartney, standing against the wall in the hallway, just looking up at the ceiling, chewing gum, with a Colbert T-shirt on, tucked in like a little 6-year-old boy. It was adorable, right? And I'm like, holy fuck, that's Paul McCartney. Now, at this point, my whole world, oh my God, it's Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
right?
what are you going to do?
And I'm like, should I say hi? Should I not say hi? I don't want to bother him. And then I'm like, fuck it. And he was alone. Like, there was no handlers, no manager, not a parrot on his shoulder.
You could have killed Paul McCartney.
Exactly.
You've been the new Mark David Chapman.
And I go, fuck it, he's alone in the hallway.
Or was that the one that shot Reagan? I always mix those two up.
Well, they did a good job. And he basically, I'm like, you know what? He's alone in the hallway. He's like a gazelle on the Serengeti's plane. I'm going to pounce. He's fucking asking for it. So I'm like, no, I got to say hi, right? So I go up and I go, it's nice to meet you. It's an honor. I'm a big fan. And he goes, oh man, what's your name? I go, I go, Paul. He goes, oh, Paul, that's a good name. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, I'll do the fucking jokes, all right? And then he goes, you just do Love Me Do, all right? And just no. And so I go, he goes, what do you do? I go, I'm a stand-up. He goes, oh, I love stand-up. I've seen Robin Williams. We even worked together one time. He starts telling me, you have a kid? Yeah, I got a kid. Yeah.
You love stand-up. Why do you marry the girl with one leg?
Yeah, exactly. That was going to be my first question on the podcast. I can only think the reason is easy access. That's the only.
It's very hard to clamp those together.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have the leverage when you don't have the second half of the leg. Trust me, I fuck amputees all the time. So I'm like, now as I'm talking to him, and maybe this has happened to you because you've met big names in your career. Half your brain is in the conversation, but the other half is like, oh my God, I'm fucking talking about McCartney.
Yes.
Don't say anything stupid, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, so now it's like he's talking about his kids and Heather Mills, and he's got custody and this and that and touring. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And people on the staff are walking by like, holy shit, Paul McCartney knows Paul McCartney. I don't fucking know the guy.
Paul and Paul.
Right. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for like one of his security guys to come over and tase me, right? Like, what are you doing? Like fucking
wrestled to the ground.
Right, dart in the neck. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave the party early. I don't want to be one of these guys. So I go, listen, I got to run. blah, 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 Beatles, I got shit to do, I got to go. No, so I leave, and I go into the bathroom, and it's all true. I call my wife, and I'm like hyperventilating, like, you're not going to fucking believe. She goes, where are you? I go, I'm in the bathroom. She goes, what, are you jerking off in the bathroom? I'm like, no, it's not Tuesday. What the fuck? No. So I go, I can't believe it. So I hang up the phone, and I'm delusional, and I think, he should do my podcast. Like, that's what I say to myself, right?
Yeah, you got it in now.
Yeah, right?
Talk to them.
And I like to talk to people about kind of their process and what they do and how they do it, especially musicians, because I'm not musical. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll never get this chance again. Go knock on the door. It's just him and a guy in the dressing room, and I'm like, yeah, you know. And I really said this. I go, you're really huge, and I'm nobody.
Goes, no,
I know. He goes, no, man, you're not nobody. He goes, I go, but I really love to talk to you as a musician. Would you do my podcast? He goes, yeah, sure, just like that, just like that. So now
it's easy to say that and have no intention of doing it.
Well, here's the thing, right? But now I'm like thrown because, like, you know, like in high school, there's that hot chick you always wanted to ask out, but she's way above your pay grade. And you're like, fuck it, let me get it out of my system. She'll say no, and at least I did it. Instead, she says yes, and you don't have a fucking plan.
Now you're like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
So he goes like, well, how would we do it? I'm like, I literally was like stammering, and I never stammered. Like, I go, I'll come to London. And he looks at me like we're in New York together. Why? He actually said we're. And then he goes, is it easy to do? I go, yeah, it's really easy. And I actually, because at this point I'm going to say anything he wants to hear, right?
Right.
So I go, yeah, it's really easy. And I actually said to the most influential musician in the last century, I go, yeah, it's really easy. I don't want to be bothered. You could do it on your phone naked from your toilet. I'm like, what the fuck am I saying, right?
Whoa.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know, to Paul McCartney. I'm like, I'm fucking this up 8 ways to Sunday, right? So I go, look, I'll leave you alone. I'll go talk to your assistant, and I'll get. He goes, no. He goes, this is the mind blow right here, this moment. He goes, no. They're gonna muck it up. He goes, you and I'll do it. I go, what do you mean? He goes, just you and I, we'll coordinate it. I go, how? He goes, well, we'll just exchange numbers. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to fuck you, old man.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, by the way, when I was talking to him, I was the close talker on Seinfeld.
Oh, you were?
Well, because he looks fucking amazing. He's 72. He dyes his hair, but he looks amazing.
So you're like, right?
I kept like getting closer. I was like that chimp on the National Geographic channel that cleans the gnats off the other chimp. I could have cleaned like ticks off his eyebrow.
Little close.
Yeah, little like, and he was like kind of leaning back. So
the other Seinfeld I was thinking of was when George is backstage. I just had a conversation with Corbin Burnson. Remember that one?
Yeah.
A real conversation.
And he pisses everybody off.
Yeah.
The best.
Oh, there you are.
Awesome. That's exactly what he did. He kept leaning back. So
look at this. I love when he just...
France. I was just there last year. In fact, you know, I still have an envelope full of French friends.
So great job pulling that up, man.
So thank you.
We exchange numbers, and I leave. Now, this goes back to what you said a minute ago. I think I got the nicest blow-off on the face of the planet. This guy's an expert. He's been doing it for 50 years, whatever.
Yeah.
He does the show, okay? He does the show. Amazing, okay? Now, I'm rushing to get to the Daily Show that tapes 3 blocks away. My phone rings. I don't recognize the number.
Oh, no.
I let it ring the voicemail.
Oh, no.
And this is the message on my phone.
Hey, Paul, it's Paul McCartney here. I'm going to ring you back in 5 minutes to do the podcast thing. I've got some time now. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of time. So if you're there in 5 minutes' time, you got me. Okay, bye.
Did you answer?
No, so I missed it. So now I'm in the middle. I'm on 11th Avenue between 53rd and 54th Street. And if you saw me like from afar, you would have thought I was a crazy homeless man, like screaming random shit. Because I'm literally on my phone going, I'm hearing it. I'm like, fuck, damn, fuck, Paul McCartney, missed call, fuck. Like, I'm just going ape shit.
Babbling.
Non sequiturs.
Yeah.
Now I fucking pull my notebook out of my backpack, and I got the phone, and I call my podcast network, which is in L.A., and I go, look, it's 2:30 their time, or 2, whatever. I go, I got Paul McCartney, but I need a line right now. The guy goes to me. Like, this is what the guy said. You ready? He goes, well, we have somebody in the studio right now. And I fucking snapped, and I turned into this guy. Did you fucking hear what I said?
Yeah.
I said, unless you have Jesus Christ or John Lennon, get him out of the fucking studio. So then I call him back. Hello? He picks up the fucking phone, and it's him. And I'm like, okay, now I had nothing set, right? And now I have to stall him. He goes, listen, I got a small window before I have to go off and do a show.
Like, who are you?
Yeah, like, oh, window, schmindo, fuck you.
Oh, real busy, I bet.
It's like, you can't even keep a marriage together, you fucking...
or a band.
Fucking English limey bastard. Or a band. So I go, I just got to set something up. I'll get right back to you. Okay, sure. 10 minutes, nothing. Call him back. A couple more minutes. Okay, I kept him stalled for like 25 minutes, almost 30 minutes, 3 times. I had to finally last call. I go, wow. Paul, I go, look, I'm having a heart attack. Can we just do this on a day when I get? He goes, no, man. If you don't get me now, you have no idea how crazy this is. My schedule is. And then we got a line, and I went into like a little phone booth in the Daily Show, and I got on the phone and I interviewed him.
You got a Paul McCartney interview.
Crazy. And he said, first thing he said to me was, what was up with the St. Pat's thing? That was the first thing he said to me.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it, and I don't
he was the nicest guy. And we only talked, I didn't want to talk to him about, first of all, and you've interviewed a lot of big names, I had to say to myself, just before he picked up the phone, I'm like, you're not talking to Paul McCartney. You're talking to a musician.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, then you start to be afraid. You start to think you're asking stupid questions. And we just talked about how they write and, shit like that. And, like I asked him, like as a comic and you as a host, you have a big fan base and you want to keep giving your fans what they're used to, and you guys were like the biggest thing on the planet. I said to him, where did you get the balls to keep changing your sound from album to album and not worry about like
turning off the
and he goes, we just were in our own bubble. He goes, we would just go into the studio and we kept wanting to try different stuff and challenging. We didn't think of the business that way. That was for other people to think about.
It's so weird too, because in hindsight you look at the Beatles and it's like, obviously just iconic in the music business, but at the time, they're those guys, they're in a studio noodling around, coming up with a song that just happens to be a huge hit. But to them, they're just
it's funny you should say that, because one of the things he said, he goes, we stopped touring, because it was just crazy, right? It was the girls were screaming, you couldn't hear the music, and we said we're going to just make records in the studio. He goes, we were laughing. He goes, because we were in Abbey Road, and he's like saying these words to me like it's coming from him, and part of me is like, oh my God, Paul McCartney just said Abbey Road. I was like, and I really, in the inside, when I was talking to him, I was literally like, oh my God, I'm talking to Paul McCartney. I was like a 16-year-old girl.
No shit.
And he goes, all the critics were writing us off. He said, they all said infighting, this and that. He goes, and then we were making this little album called Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which was a seminal record, and so. He said, we just kind of marched to our own drummer, and
that sometimes was Ringo and sometimes it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently.
Yeah,
depending on how complicated the music was.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you say that you have something in common because you were like the Yoko of the O&A show?
No, fuck you. You fucking have some balls and fucking take some responsibility, you fucking baby.
Look, in hindsight, I've assessed the whole thing in my head, and we were pretty stupid back then.
The Anthony Cumia Show.
This is the Legion of Skanks podcast. This is the Legion of Skanks podcast.
By the way, before I left for both you guys, I changed the sheets. I went to the cleaners, and I took them down there and put brand new sheets on the bed. And
He's saying you guys didn't clean the sheets back for him.
With Dave?
No,
I didn't have sheets on my bed when I got home.
Oh, he took your sheets?
He goes, no, I left them at the dry cleaners. I'm like, when I got back at 11:45, they're at the dry cleaner. I'm like, I know what some cleaners are.
I ran out of laundry, so I had to wear your sheets like a toga.
Dave was an East Village superhero.
No. The day he left, he took my shit to the fucking
I was like, go pay for that and
left,
pick it up?
Oh, yeah, he also did not pay for it. When I was like, I'm here to pick up just at the very end, I was like, I'm here to pick up my sheets. And I was like, it's paid for, right?
And the guy was like, no.
Raised, and I was like, nah, I knew it.
Okay, so hold on. He did most of the chores.
Yeah, see, I'm a little disappointed. One chore.
All right, I want to hear.
Another chore was don't smoke my pot. And that rule came into effect because of Louis J. Gomez.
The Louis J. Gomez rule.
Wouldn't have even thought.
They named it. It's like a holiday.
That someone would go to my drugs drawer.
Ooh, a whole drawer.
He's into
opening drawers.
I had no idea. I was there for weeks before I even figured out that his drawer has just a weird spinny top that you could just open.
Yeah.
I mean, just weeks. I was dying for weed multiple times. And when I finally found that weed, I mean, I was almost angry at you, so it was spiteful.
I don't mind you smoking some weed, but leave me some weed.
You smoked all of it.
All of it. I had a little bit of hash left over that he didn't find. That was in a different place.
You smoked all of his weed and didn't replace
Dave,
it?
okay, bought, with no job, Dave, bought a quarter off me before. Maybe a half. Maybe a quarter, maybe a half. This is 3 days before I left. And I was like, I have...
He bought it from you.
From me. Great stuff. And I was like, I have vacuum-sealed stuff. Just don't smoke that. Whatever's out, which was probably an eighth and a half, that's all fair game, man. Sure, you're a fucking young comic, smoke some of my weed, totally. Don't smoke the shit I have freeze-dried.
Oh, you had freeze-dried
vacuum pack.
So there's no way to even take a pinch.
There's no way to take a pinch.
And then it all dries off.
You open this, you go, I'm smoking all of this now.
No, you can get a jar, put it in a jar.
But still, it's.
But no,
you break the seal.
Or put it back in a rubber band, and roll it back up.
You break the seal on that vacuum seal weed. You're breaking a seal of friendship at the same time.
Amen. It's a double entendre.
Ari's going to know. It's double entendre.
That's absolutely true.
I mean, this ain't easy weed to come by. I don't just buy it from some fucking Muyan down in Washington Square Park.
Some Stugats? One of them shines down there in the park?
So, can we smoke a joint?
Yeah, we can smoke my joint.
Thank you. Speaking of which, speaking of smoking Ari's weed, can we smoke a joint?
I would
never
Dave
in a million reserves.
2 different vacuum seals.
Wait, how much is in each vacuum seal?
A quarter. Oh, so I sold him a half.
So hold on.
So he smoked a pound that month, at least.
No, not a pound.
Pound and an eighth.
He just said he got his own.
No, some of my the outweed was still left, actually.
No, it's an
ounce and an eighth.
Dry. The outweed was still there. The weed that
sold
was
him
out
a half.
in the raw.
No, when
he
he's
went
saying,
for the good.
Jay, when he's saying a quarter, he's not saying a quarter pound. He's saying a quarter ounce.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weed.
A pound
a month.
A lot of weed.
A lot of weed.
I bet it would have been gone
Which would
still.
explain why absolutely nothing got done. Too.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to smoke that much weed.
His TV's on the roof.
I mean,
he smoked a ton of weed, and that's an accurate description. But
That's
even though when you say, even though a pound is way less of like a jump, it's not a really accurate description.
I love Dave. It doesn't affect our friendship at all. So but it's just like I'm disappointed in that. Like that's weird. Man.
I had to
really
take my anger and be like, I had to like separate myself from my body. I'm like, Ari, this is not going to get solved by you being angry or dickish.
Ari pulled out his rocking chair and his mirror.
You just got to let it go.
He's like, I'm
Or started shaving a mohawk into his head.
I had a thing years ago with my buddy Glenn, who I'm still friends with.
Yeah.
And grab that, Mikey. I had a thing where I mean, we're going back to being a teenagers, like 17, 18 here.
Yeah.
And we met a couple girls, like me, him, and one of our other friends. Our friend Moo.
Moo?
Yeah, Moo's a black dude.
Oh.
And
I really imagine a very heavy-set white guy.
That's what I figured. Now it's a black dude, little skinny black dude.
They make me carry a belt.
Short for like Mookie.
We met these three at Munir. We met these three.
Indian.
Strange.
Yeah.
Met these three chicks, and we were going to hang out with them that night. And Glenn drove. He was going to pick us all up in his car.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying he was on his way. He was on his way, and he just never came. And then turns out he went out with the three chicks. Like he didn't fuck them. We were pretty young. It wasn't one of those situations, but he may have hooked up with one.
But why are you saying you're on your way?
I don't know. Either way,
on your way.
He ditched out on us, and it was really shitty. He just didn't answer his fucking beeper. I think it was at that point all night. Whatever it was, he just didn't get a hold of us all. He just left us fucking with our thumbs up. Right. I didn't talk to him for a month and a half. But then you start weighing out. I like so many things about Glenn. I like.
Right.
I enjoy his company. I enjoy hanging out with him. He's a good buddy. Again, being that age, it's something that he would. I don't think he would do things like this today. Do you know what I mean? Maybe, but I don't think so. We're not even in each other's life like that. But it's after a month and a half, I called him, and he was kind of or he called me or something, whatever it was. One of us called, and he was just like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And I said yes, and because in my head I just thought I'll never put myself in that position with him again.
Yeah.
I know, I would warn another friend.
Oh, if you're gonna let him,
if you be careful. If you do this, you might be asking for this to happen.
Yeah.
But he goes, but let him try. I love him. I love the guy. So I'm saying same with Glenn. I'm still friends with Glenn, but we had that month and a half. It was a weird thinking time where I was like, you got to decide,
Yeah, I mean, obviously this
There's
is
negatives everywhere. There's Lewis gets negatives about me. There's negatives about Lewis.
Fucking.
There's even certain
at
people.
the end of the day, look, this is also. I don't think is this a make or break type of friendship. I don't think it is for almost anybody in the world.
No.
You know, if you're
you look at people differently.
Ralph had a similar thing.
Look at people differently.
If that is a break friendship type of situation, you're not really friends with the person in the first place. It's the guy that you're like, I did if that guy favor, fuck that guy, I'm not friends with him.
No, yeah, I wouldn't be a break friendship, but it would be like.
I don't think for Ari it is.
No, but at the very least, what it is if this situation ever happens again, where he's got his apartment to give up for a month, he's going to think twice before Dave.
No, this is just you're saying fully one shame on me, and then that's
1 million.
I got you.
Yeah,
you're saying it's not a friendship. I don't think in the capacity it happened it is. But what if that was the fifth thing that made about Dave or you that made Ari go
Well,
it could be the thing that makes you go, man, this guy's really inconsiderate.
Can you tell me what I did that was so bad?
It's tough.
Because I just smoked. He's saying I smoked his weed. I mean, I smoked like a half an eighth. Like there was not weed there. It was so
okay.
little.
I will say in defense of Lewis, what he's saying is a complete lie. He smoked way more than that.
1/16.
So much of my hash.
I smoked a 32nd.
I didn't smoke that much weed, Ari.
Hey.
You make it, and I'll tell you right now.
Here's the thing with house guests.
I was disappointed with how little weed
a
I
guy
got.
have weed when he gets home. That's like an affront.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't sweep, whatever. But to say you're home from a long time on the road and now there's no weed to smoke?
Did we not leave your place?
In the home of a pothead?
Did we not leave your place in great condition, though?
He's schwitzing.
Did we not do all the tasks that you left us in
You did the tasks. Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank right now B for what I'm sure was almost all of the work, and that's fine.
I wish his task list was like, you got to punch Muhammad Ali in the face, like riding a car with 2 angry zebras, just weird shit.
By the way, I got a picture when you say
12 countries.
When you say I'm going to thank B for doing what's probably all the work, and Lewis said, yeah, it's true. I picture Lewis like sitting scratching his balls in his boxers while she's actually like hanging a TV.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're burning the steak. Get her over.
Last Halloween.
You should have done it last week because the nails are hot.
We spent Halloween in your apartment.
Oh, yeah. I was gone doing my special and then went to Maui with with Jay.
That was a great apartment, too.
With Nate. Nate doesn't include me in his outings.
So this is
but then you left your baby stroller there and all your baby toys
and also your baby
a month and a half, and girls were weirded out by a baby stroller in my apartment, especially with things I do to girls.
What kind of weird kink?
And a fucking
my the pothead kink, it makes a bong out of their asshole.
Munir sounds like a very heavy piece of furniture. You like help someone move their Munir. But
that wasn't bad.
But who was worse, though? Who was worse?
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff.
Dave sounded like a tornado went into your apartment.
Dave,
I smoked.
It does sound like Dave was way worse.
Like seals were broken.
Dave to me feels like Obama because I believe this time. You know, he's like, he was like, no, I'm not going to be Lewis. Trust me.
You hit him right where it hurts too in the politics.
I'm doing this. I will do this the right way.
Your apartment was spotless when you came. Your apartment was cleaner than when you gave it to me.
My apartment was very clean when you were there.
Your apartment's fucking awesome.
You weren't a bad guest. I was thinking what a bad guest was someone who stays at your place and then smokes all your weed too. But that was wrong. I didn't know what a bad guest could be.
The Anthony Cumia Show.
This is the best of the Gavin McInnes Show.
Let's talk to Thomas Talbot. Tommy, are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
Gavin?
there we go. Now he's high res. That's quite
absolutely.
That's quite a schnoz you have.
It's a pretty big nose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been told it's a huge Jew nose, but it's a huge Arab nose.
And your wife is incredibly attractive.
Yes.
How'd you pull that off? Or you just always have a bag of cocaine on you at all times?
I don't know. She's a college student. She didn't know any better.
So, your video where you explained why this is clearly not an invention just broke 1 million views. But I really feel like, I don't know if you heard what I was just saying, but there's the Dolezals and the Sean Kings. There's the UVA Hilks and the Mattress Girl. This is becoming a Mattress Girl. It's disappearing. Obama's getting away with it. I mean, just yesterday, he was with Sergey What's-His-Nots, the founder of fucking Google. Hey, Google it.
I don't think he's getting away with it. I mean, these people are stuck. They invited him. And, you know, I think this is an embarrassment for a lot of people now. And you know what? If we hadn't uncovered this, there would be the Ahmed Mohamed Foundation, and this would be a big movement, and people would be intimidated to question things they saw. And there would be all kinds of new legal policies at the schools. and all kinds of things going on. So, yeah, I think we actually turned this around. I think
disagree.
This is more like Lena Dunham.
I disagree. There is basically an Ahmed Foundation. I mean, he has a college fund. What's we
that?
are going to be more scared of looking at bombs because we saw what fucking happened. Oh,
What
don't
happened?
leave. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, my alarm went off. I was not expecting that.
By the way, you know what no one talks about? Clock. The alarm went off. What was the power source when the alarm went off in his English class?
Battery backup, 9-volt battery.
But in the picture,
so to do that, he had to plug the clock in, set the alarm for the middle of English class.
Yes.
And then after setting the alarm in the middle of English class, then he had to unplug it and have the battery there. So that's how he did it.
Yeah, because the 9-volt battery in the picture doesn't have a battery plugged into it. So there's no power. He had to plug it in.
Yeah, the police probably removed it.
I heard from your wife, your lovely wife, that thousands of comments on your video have vanished.
That's true. That's true. And there were some of the real funny high horse ones about what a bad person I was and what an idiot I was. And I don't know why 1,000 disappeared. We're back up to 3,200 comments again, but who knows why? I think someone probably started a thread and got a little embarrassed after the facts came out, and they deleted theirs and all the replies to those.
I see. Well, you know, Muslims are very active on the internet, and if you ever post anything anti-Muslim, you'll see a ton of comments from someone. Then if you look at who they are, they only comment on Muslim articles. They have a sort of like an internet army, which I mean is working great for ISIS. Yeah. Gays are similar, actually. So the good news with those comments is it implies that maybe you're right. I mean, okay, let's pretend, let's get in a time machine and go ahead 10 days.
Yes.
What has happened? I say zilch.
I think the story's off the radar in another week.
Yep.
And that's probably okay because I think this was planned to be something that would never be off the radar. And so we'll be off the radar, but, you know, maybe the school will fight back on the lawsuit rather than fold now. And so they lose. And the thing is, I think more people got the message here about what a fraud this was in the end. And so I think it's a net plus.
I don't know,
he'll
man.
Still get invites.
I don't know. I go back and forth. I'm not sure. I think he won. It's like you see blacks to this day wearing hands up, don't shoot T-shirts or Trayvon shirts, guilty of wearing a hoodie and stuff. I can't remember the exact thing I saw on this woman's hoodie, but it was at Target recently. This black woman, probably about 50 years old, and she had a Trayvon thing. And I was like, did you not hear the story? You didn't hear what happened? But they don't care what the story is. And I think they got their narrative.
The story
and
they want.
The book is sealed.
Well, you know, I think the people that wanted to hear that story got that story, that really wanted to hear it. And so you're right about that. But I think most of the country, I don't think they're buying this.
Yeah, I guess. Look, Tom, thank you for having the show. We've got Robert Spencer coming up, who debated Ahmed's father, who I think is a complete idiot.
Well, I'll be watching. It sounds great. Good seeing you, Gavin.
Cheers, Tom. You know, I saw, look up Derek Waters, D-E-R-E-K, the guy who does Drunk History. He tweeted Instagrammed a picture of him and fucking Ahmed. I fucking hate that name, Ahmed. Ahmed Mohamed, and his dad's name is Mohammed El Hassan Mohammed. And we are petrified of offending this family during a war. I mean, it's 1942. There's Klaus Schluppenplops and Adolf Schluppen Adolf. And there it is. What the fuck? You know, there's something going on with Derek. I love the guy. I know him well. And I've worked with Drunk History before. They cut me out of a 3-day shoot, so maybe I'm a little bitter. But he lives in L.A., and L.A. people are so far gone, you wouldn't believe it. Like, when you go down there and you talk to people, Bill Maher is Christopher Hitchens. He's an incredibly articulate genius who's never wrong. And Obama is Kennedy the day he was assassinated. Like, it's never occurred to them that he sucks. Never occurred to them. And when you bring it up, you're sort of like, what? And they just spout all the same Democrat talking points that Mar repeats. And you go, wow, you guys are fucking lost. So I think Derek is sucked into that. And when you watch Drunk History, you sort of see how brainwashed young people are. Like, every single woman on that show has to talk about a woman in history. I don't understand why. You're a human being. It's a show called Drunk History. Why don't you get drunk and talk about human beings? And it's always the same. It's always some masculine woman who's a fucking kick-ass. She goes, fuck you, and she tells them all to fuck off, and she was kick-ass, and she did it herself. And it's always masculine things, like she fucking lifted 300 pounds and shot a guy, and then jumped over a building, and stole a Ferrari, and drove it off a cliff, and then jumped out with a parachute, and then strangled a bear with her bare hands. And you're going, those are all masculine things. I don't see that as impressive. If she had 7 kids and was a great mom, I'm more impressed than bear wrestling. And then even the homos, like, there was one really telling moment. They were talking about first ladies, and this gay guy goes, a lot of the first ladies were ride or die bitches. They were fucking ride or die bitches. And when you're a ride or die bitch, you are down for whatever. And I was like, no, I was not like. I thought to myself, rappers hate you, dude. Why are you adopting black culture? They fucking think you're retarded. Which brings us to Robert Spencer. How are you, sir?
Segue ever.
Yeah. What a perfect segue, huh?
That was just magnificent.
That was scripted. I'm reading a teleprompter.
I love it.
Me and my staff of 15 worked on that all day. I put out a video recently calling the entire Mohammed family stupid. And the biggest evidence for that was your debate with Mohammed Al-Hassan Mohammed. And she gave you way too much time each, by the way, during that debate. It was like 7 minutes each.
Yeah, it's a long format. It's an hour-and-a-half show, and so it was a long debate. But I can tell you, he really was a very poor debater. Not only was he so bad, but after that, Sheila Musaji of the American Muslim actually wrote an article saying Muslims should not debate Spencer. I loved that. But the thing is that Mohammed Al-Hassan showed by being in that debate and also getting involved with Terry Jones, he was trying to make a name for himself as some kind of a warrior against so-called Islamophobia for years.
Yeah.
And he hit upon this clock. It worked like a charm.
Well, he calls himself a sheik, and he wears all these stupid sort of robes. I don't understand that costume. It's not a Muslim imam's costume. It looks like a Bedouin who travels across the desert at night.
Well, he is from Sudan, and so, I can't say that I'm an expert in what they wear in Sudan, but maybe it's indigenous dress. He's run for president of Sudan from Texas.
Yeah, you can't run for a democratic presidency in a dictatorship. But the thing I don't get is his mosque has no idea who he is. They've never heard of him. He boasts hundreds of followers. No one can find one. The guy's a fraud.
He seems to be. This is clearly a crank and somebody who was trying to be famous in whatever way. If he wasn't going to be president of Sudan, he was going to be the great Islamophobia slayer. And if he wasn't going to be either of those, then he's going to be the father of Ahmed, the clockmaker, the poor victim of Islamophobia. He's finally found it, and so my hat's off to him.
Yeah, well, that's what drives me nuts. I was just talking to Thomas Talbot, the tech geek who did a million, it's got 1 million hits, this video that exposes the clock. He was the first on the case. And he seems to think that we won and the fraud has been exposed. I disagree. I think we lost and the narrative won and the book has been closed now. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it again. I don't think anyone else will.
Well, I don't think it was a win-lose situation because, look, Barack Obama and the United Nations and Zuckerberg and everybody who's celebrating this kid, they were never going to listen to us. They've never listened to us before. Why were they suddenly going to listen to us now? And so it was a foregone conclusion. But I do think that we did expose just how cynical and deceptive this whole enterprise was, and how eager people are to be taken in by this kind of cynical and deceptive charade.
Did we, though?
He's still at the UN. He's still celebrated everywhere. But that was predictable because they control these places. We don't have any voice in them.
I mean, you look at, I was talking about this at the beginning of the show, Rachel Dolezal, totally exposed, laughingstock. No one, I mean, you'd meet her right now on the street and you'd start laughing. UVA hoax, huge embarrassment for Rolling Stone. The Sabrina Erdely, her career is fucked. She's over. But then you have Mattress Girl, who got away with it, and I feel like Ahmed goes in this category.
Oh, yeah. But it's only because the deck is stacked already. And, Rachel Dolezal was so far out there was nothing they could do. But this guy has all sorts of protectors who are very eager to say, well, McInnes and Spencer, they're just greasy Islamophobes, and why should we listen to them? And so they've got a vested interest in making him look good.
I noticed from the left, a common criticism is, oh, so you're going to gang up on a 14-year-old? Congratulations. You attack a little boy. And you think, that's why El Hassan chose his son. To take advantage of the way we are delicate. I mean, they do mine sweeps. In the Iran-Iraq war, they would have kids walking out over minefields.
Because they know us. They study us. We don't study them at all. I mean, I do. A few other people do. But most of the people in the State Department, they have no idea. John Kerry assumes that Mohammad Javad Zarif, the Iranian negotiator, was just John Kerry with a beard. And he has no idea that he might have a very different mindset. They have no interest in that whatsoever.
The Anthony Cumia Show. Now we're talking uncensored. If you like what you hear, visit AnthonyCumia.com for subscription information and show details. And never miss a minute of fully archived shows available at any time in streaming HD video or audio download.
Brought to you by DeepDiscount.com. Tons of sales going on all this month, including big sales on Blu-rays, drama, sci-fi, TV, comedy, and more, all deeply discounted only at deepdiscount.com. Use code Cumia for 10% off.